Hello everyone and welcome to this session. Today is a special edition because I would like to share with you a few ideas and methods how you could get started on quintuplets and how you could incorporate them into your playing style. If you're watching this, you have probably seen my latest remix, which is a version of Smells Like Teen Spirit, a track composed by Nirvana, which was a big punk rock classic track in the 90s. And it being a punk track, it was obviously straight in 4/4. Now what I've done is I've transposed the whole thing into what you could call 5/4 or quintuplets. And quintuplets means 5 beats per pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. For me, this came quite naturally because of my years of training in India, where the use of 5 and 7 and 9 and other meters is very common. So I would like to share with you a few ideas because I feel that especially in the drumming community at the moment, quintuplets is like the thing, it seems to be everywhere. And I think people have an appetite for it because everybody's looking for a new repertoire, everybody's looking for new ideas. And the 5 just offers a little twist because we're so used to the 4, but the 5 has that extra beat, that extra twist. And to use it in fills, for example, or to use it in grooves where you could sort of simulate time stretching ideas, you can get some really cool things going. So in order to get into it, we're going to look at Konnakol. And if you haven't heard of Konnakol, you can check out my other videos where I give a basic introduction to it. But in a nutshell, really, Konnakol is a rhythmic language which is spoken in the south of India. And it's a language which is used to memorize and to express and to sing rhythms. And it has a lot of mathematics and poetry to it. And if we look at the basic subdivision of 5, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't want to be doing that because that's very mechanical, but rather than saying the numbers, you can say the phrases. And the 5 that you use in Konnakol is a 2 and a 3, which makes up 5. So 2 is takka, takka, and 3 is takite. So takka, takite, takka, takite, takka, takite, takka, takite, ta. You see how I'm accenting on the tas? That gives it the musical flow. And now we have to put that into a beat, and the time cycle is 4/4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Taka takite, taka takite, taka takite, taka. Let me slow it down a bit. Taka takite, 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 taka takite. So that's really the basic flow, and you should practice that. Taka takite, taka takite, taka tak, taka takite, taka takite, taka takite, taka takite, taka takite. Now with all these odd things that we're not used to, it's important to practice with a metronome in the first place, because really I think it's important to get the external reference about where the tempo is. We don't get sloppy. So now this is sort of the basic structure, 2 + 3. Now I can start to create variations from it. And the simplest way is to swap the 2 into 3. So instead of saying 2, 3, I can do 3, 2. And that would be a takite taka, right? So takite taka, 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 takite taka. Yeah, you can go back and forth between the first one. Taka takite, taka takite, taka takite, taka takite, takite taka, takite taka, takite taka, takite taka. Yeah, doing each 4 times. So you already have a different flex to it. The next thing would be to put them together one after the other. So it's a 2, 3, 3, 2. Taka takite, takite, taka, taka takite, takite, taka, taka takite, takite, taka, taka takite, takite, taka. Or do it the other way around. 3, 2, 2, 3. Taka Just from these two syllables, we've already made 3 different patterns. And if you really express the accents, you see how you can get nice rhythmical patterns that have a nice flow. Now for the next one, we have 3, 2, 2, 3, you know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce another phrase, which is the phrase of 4. Because I have 2 plus 2 in the middle, and 2 plus 2 is 4. So rather than saying 2, 2, I can just combine them, make them into one unit, and say 4. And the sounds for 4, the phrase for 4 is takadimi, takadimi. Yeah, takadimi, takadimi. Now my pattern will be 3, 4, 3. Takite, takadimi, takite, takite, takadimi, takite, takite, takadimi, takite, takadimi, takite, takite, takadimi, takite, takite, takadimi, takite. Now I can start again shuffling them around. Take the 4 from the middle, put it in the beginning. 4, 3, 3. Takadimi, takite, takite, takadimi, takite, takite, takadimi, takite, takite, takadimi, takite, takite, ta. Or put the 4 in the end. Takite, takite, takadimi, takite, takite, takadimi, takite, takite, takadimi, takite, takite, takadimi, ta. You see, we've ended up at 7 or 8 variations already. And they actually sound really good. And these are the rhythms that I'm shuffling around, you know, just to shuffle around the accents. So you can just practice them and, you know, bring in one and basically, you know, do one until you're very comfortable, then move on and then shuffle them around. And a final rhythm that I think is very interesting, because we as drummers, we always want to superimpose things on top of each other, you know. The best example is, I guess, the African, like the 4 or 3, where you have a 3, 4, or you have a triplet, and then you take a grouping of 4, you know, for example, 3 over 4 or 4 over 3, you know, where you have equal spacings on top of another bar, really. And for this one, I would do a 5 over 4. And the way I would do it is I just take the phrase of 4, which is takadimi, and I do it 5 times, you know. So really, it's 5 equal beats on top of 4 equal beats, and it sounds like this. Takadimi, 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 takadimi. You see how cross that goes? So for that one, for example, it's really cool to go back to the basic one, which is 2, 3, and then bring that one in, you know, like alternate the bars, like something like this. Okay, well, there is much more to explore, but that will be the time for another session. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email or check out the other lessons. Happy practicing with all those things. So once you have the phrases and you know them, then you can go on the kit, for example. You can apply them, or you could play them on any instruments, you know, keeping the accents, you know, making phrases for it, making stickings for it, making, you know, combinations of notes, and apply them. And you will see how just with those few exercises you already have so much material to play from, you know, and to create, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So any questions, let me know, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.
Stop.